house on the hill, uncovering the dark secrets.
The old house on the hill had always been a source of fascination for the townspeople. For as long as anyone could remember, it had stood abandoned, looming over the surrounding countryside like a dark, foreboding presence. Few dared to venture too close to the house, let alone enter it. Rumors swirled about the strange occurrences that took place within its walls, ghostly apparitions, unexplained noises, and a general sense of unease that permeated the air. But one Halloween night, a group of teenagers decided to investigate the house for themselves. They had heard the stories and were convinced that there was nothing more to the place than a few creaky floorboards and a healthy dose of superstition. As they approached the house, they couldn't help but feel a sense of trepidation. The house seemed to be alive with a malevolent energy, and the closer they got, the more intense the feeling became. Despite their fear, they pushed on, entering the house through a broken window. The inside was even more decrepit than they had imagined, with cobwebs draped over every surface and a thick layer of dust covering the furniture. As they explored the house, they began to realize that something was not quite right. Objects seemed to move of their own accord, and strange noises echoed through the halls. It wasn't until they reached the basement that they realized the true nature of the house. There, in the dim light, they saw something that would haunt them for the rest of their lives. A figure, shrouded in darkness, stood before them. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, and its twisted, contorted body seemed to defy the laws of nature. The teenagers tried to run, but the creature was too quick. It pursued them through the house, its unearthly screams echoing through the halls. They ran up the stairs, but the creature was relentless, its twisted form pursuing them every step of the way. As they reached the top of the stairs, one of the teenagers stumbled and fell, tumbling down the stairs and landing in a crumpled heap at the bottom. The others turned to help him, but it was too late. The creature was upon them, its twisted claws tearing into their flesh and dragging them into the darkness. As the night wore on, the screams of the teenagers echoed through the house, a terrifying reminder of the evil that lurked within its walls. Years later, the house still stands, a silent sentinel on the hill. Those who pass by whisper about the strange occurrences that still take place within its walls, and some say that on certain nights, the screams of the teenagers can still be heard echoing through the halls. But no one dares to enter the house, for fear of what might still be lurking within its walls. The house on the hill remains a mystery, a chilling reminder of the dangers that lie hidden in the darkness. Despite the danger, some people were drawn to the house on the hill. They believed that if they could uncover the truth about what happened that fateful night, they could put the ghosts of the past to rest and bring peace to the restless spirits that still haunted the house. One such person was a paranormal investigator named Rachel. She had been fascinated with the house for years and had spent countless hours researching its history and the strange occurrences that had taken place there. Rachel knew the risks of entering the house, but she was determined to uncover the truth. Armed with her equipment and a team of experienced investigators, she made her way up the hill to the house. As she entered the house, she felt a shiver run down her spine. The air was thick with a sense of foreboding, and she knew that they were not alone. They began their investigation in the basement, where the creature had first appeared to the teenagers. Rachel's equipment began to pick up strange readings, and she could feel the presence of something otherworldly in the room with them. As they moved through the house, Rachel and her team encountered all manner of strange phenomena. Doors opened and closed of their own accord, disembodied whispers echoed through the halls, and the temperature dropped to freezing levels in certain areas of the house. But it wasn't until they reached the attic that they uncovered the true horror of the house on the hill. There, hidden away in a corner of the room, they found a diary. As Rachel began to read the entries, she felt a chill run down her spine. The diary belonged to a young woman named Abigail, who had lived in the house with her family in the early 1800s. Abigail had been the victim of unspeakable abuse at the hands of her father, who had used the house's isolation to carry out his horrific crimes. Abigail had written of her desperate attempts to escape her father's clutches, of the terror that gripped her every time she heard his footsteps approaching her door. But in the end, her father had caught her and had carried out a final, brutal act of violence that had left Abigail's spirit trapped in the house for all eternity. As Rachel read the diary, she felt a sudden gust of wind blow through the attic. She looked up to see a spectral figure hovering before her, the ghost of Abigail staring at her with hollow eyes. Rachel and her team fled the house, their investigations cut short by the overwhelming power of the spirits that still lurked within its walls. In the years that followed, the house on the hill remained a silent sentinel, its dark secrets hidden away from the world. But for those who knew the truth, the house was a constant reminder of the dangers that lay hidden in the darkness, waiting to claim their next victim. And so the house on the hill stood, a testament to the evil that lurked within the hearts of men, and a warning to all who dared to venture too close to the edge of the unknown.